I like how he grabs his own ass. In today's video, gents, I'm reacting to Jason Momoa getting his first handmade bespoke suit. This is going to be interesting. Khal Drogo, aka Aquaman, in a bespoke suit. Let's see what happens. So first up, the thumbnail. This actually isn't going to grab too much attention unless you love one of the two, Henry Poole and Company and Jason Momoa. And since I like both, boom, this was perfect for me. And you also got to love how he's bringing attitude right there into the thumbnail, the way he's pointing his fingers, the jewelry on his hand. Boom, this works.
Here we are. This is my first time ever having a handmade bespoke suit on Savile Row, so come check it out.
So he starts us off by saying it's his first time getting a handmade suit on Savile Row. So my question is, has he ever gotten a bespoke suit made before, maybe somewhere else? And in case you're not familiar with Savile Row, this is located in London and is considered by many to be the epicenter of bespoke suits. If you want the best in the world, this is the place to go. All right, so walking through the historic doors of Henry Poole and Company. Founded in 1806, these guys moved to Savile Row in 1846, and they have made suits for some of the top guys out there. I mean, I'm talking Emperor Napoleon III, the Prince of Wales, the Crown Prince of Prussia, Queen Victoria, Tsar Alexander II of Russia, King George VI, the Shah of Persia, and of course now my man, Jason Momoa.
Pretty much for the last, I don't know, since I guess I was 20, it must be 21, 22. I've been coming past this shop, looking in the window, always, oh, look at all that. Always wanted to get myself a suit, and finally, 20 years later, I'm gonna have my first bespoke English-made, the first on the street, the oldest tailor.
All right, Jason, I love you, man, but you made one mistake. Jeeves and Hawks was actually the first tailor on Savile Row, and they started off as separate companies, came together. That being said, Henry Poole and Company is no slouch. These guys have the lineage. And really quick, I want to talk about what Jason said about how he felt 20 years walking by this place, seeing these awesome suits, and now finally being able to go in and get one. I know how he feels, because 15 years ago, I walked down Savile Row for the first time, and I have to admit, I was intimidated. I was looking for tailors to partner with, and I very quickly realized I was way outside of my depth. In 2007, start my first company, a tailored suit, walking up and down there and realizing these guys were leaps and bounds beyond what I was looking for. Savile Row can be intimidating for someone that isn't in the know.
You've got various kind of things that we can be looking at. Yeah. So depending on kind of the route you wanted to go down, whether you wanted to keep it quite classic or whether you wanted to go a little bit funky.
Yeah, I think it's important to have both.
Great answer. Go classic, at the same time, go a little bit funky. And I'd like to think that sticking with the classics, which don't change, and that's the beautiful thing about buying a classic suit, is that it really doesn't go out of style. And you'll find that simply sticking with classic style oftentimes can really set you apart from the crowd.
I've always wanted to do a seersucker, but in black, so black on black seersucker.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, I mentioned a black on black seersucker. I like it because the color from a distance is going to look like solid black. But you get up close and you're going to see, wow, this is something that's got a weave to it. Seersucker traditionally is white with a blue stripe on it, and it's great for hot weather. The black that he's going with here, very untraditional type of look, but I like this because he's going to wear it in a wide variety of 3 weather, not in cold weather, but definitely in hot, medium weather. He'll be able to pull this off. And again, because of the dark color, it's going to work perfect for a premiere.
I was planning on building a suit for Dune. I asked Daniel if we could build a suit, and that's 4 to 5 weeks away for the premiere. I couldn't make it to Venice, but I can make it to the England one, so we're gonna have the premiere for Dune here. So we're gonna make a suit, and then I got called yesterday. We're gonna be able to go to 007, which is like an honor from Daniel. So we got 2 weeks to crunch it, and we're gonna make a suit.
So you may be thinking 2 weeks, 4 weeks, that's plenty of time for a suit. Not if it's a handmade bespoke suit. These things easily, just in the jacket alone, they can spend 50 to 70 hours. For him, they're going to make exceptions. They're going to move him up to the front of the line. So they're going to bend over backwards to get him that suit. And these guys are professionals. They wouldn't promise something they can't deliver. FYI though, if you're ever looking to get a custom suit made, understand it will take time, especially if you're going through a quality maker, because they're going to want to do multiple fittings. They're going to want to make sure they get it right. All All right, so for this first fitting, it looks like what they're using here is a block jacket. A block jacket is a jacket that they know the dimensions of, and it gives them a place to start. So they're going to do probably some skin measurements on them. They're also going to do the measurements with the jacket on, and from that, they'll be able to build a jacket off of this. Now, a lot of guys, when they buy clothing, they're used to maybe two measurements, the neck measurement and the sleeve length on a shirt. But with a jacket, you sometimes could have as many as 50 different measurements. So there's a lot of science and art to this, and this is a craft that sometimes take the best tailors 20 to 30 years to master. You notice that measurement they got going around his neck and then under his armpits? That's a pretty rare measurement, and it's important though on a muscular man like Jason, because what's going to happen, he probably has a more erect stance, and they've got to make sure that they get the arm side, that's basically the armhole, just right, because they want to give him freedom of movement. At the same time, they want the jacket to fit close. I like how he grabs his own ass. Now, because I know you guys like a great story, have you heard the story about how I became an owner of Vitaman? So a few years back, a friend of mine, Dale Beaumont, introduced me to Claire Castles. Claire is the founder of Vitaman over 20 years ago, and she was one of the pioneers in men's grooming, up in spas around the world, basically building products specifically designed for men in our skin, our hair type. The problem is she was in these spas and she didn't have an online presence. And I just was blown away first up with the products. I sample and test a lot of products. These were friggin' amazing. It was, in fact, the aftershave balm. This one product right here, I put it on. I'd never tried anything like it. I mean, it felt so clean, so just nice, crisp. I love this product. And when I got to deal with the founder, Claire, I absolutely love what she brought to the table. I said, you know what? We need to partner up. She agreed. And so I became an owner of Vitaman. Guys, and I can tell you, when you go over there and you try our products, you're going to see the difference. It's the botanicals. It's the products we use out of the Australian outback. Everything natural, organic, delivered right to your door. That's what I love about this. We've got a subscription service, so we make it really simple, but you don't have to go with that. You can just simply try the products, but I've got this sample kit for free. I will link to down in the description. Go grab it over at our website. Again, this is so you can try the products. You can see for yourself the Vitaman difference. So again, gents, use that link in the description. Grab your sample kit for free.
In terms of the suit, so it's normally a single-breasted, one-button front.
Yep.
With a peak lapel, which is like your jacket.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of mine, yeah. I like that, nice.
So some quick style details. He said single-breasted, one button, peak lapels. Peak lapels are going to be the most formal of all the lapels. One button, you don't see that very often, but it makes sense because he's going for a more formal look. So you notice all those fabrics right there. I will let you know that the average tailor shop has thousands and thousands of fabrics they have access to. So it can get a bit confusing, and that's where having a talented, someone that's really smart and understands the process to direct you down the path and to eliminate the fabrics that honestly you shouldn't even be looking at. Now, really quick, gents, I want to share with you guys a story about my experience on Savile Row 10 years after my first trip. So I'm there in London at the Upreneur Summit. I'm speaking. My friend John Dumas and Kate over at Entrepreneur on Fire, they're there. Let me walk you down and show you some of these really cool shops. We see Jeeves and Hawks. We're walking by, and somebody in the window spots me and just waves and immediately starts to come out. Turns out Ben, this guy's name, he recognized me and my channel and came out to thank me profusely for teaching him so much about men's style, enough that he got the job there. And I'm here just thinking, wow, a decade ago, I was here and was so intimidated. Now I'm here basically having the guys in the shops recognize me and the work that I've done here at Real Men Real Style. So it was kind of a like one of those wow moments, and it was cool to experience it with two of my friends.
Last time, there you go, buddy.
Again, you got to love how Jason just goes in and starts hugging these guys. I don't know if they're used to this, this huge bear of a man just grabbing them and hugging them, but yeah.
The real deal when it comes down to the founders of the Savile Row, that's where it started from, and other great customers like Edward VII and Churchill. And
I like how he casually mentions, yeah, past customers like Churchill. And by the way, in case you didn't know, Henry Poole and Company started off making military uniforms. That's how actually most of these tailor shops started off, and why, if you look at menswear, so much comes from the military when it comes from the designs and build of classic menswear.
This is you, but in paper form.
There you go.
So,
now what they're showing here are the paper patterns. This is actually what they're going to cut with the cloth, and that's why, but they first draw it all on paper. The idea is to use as little cloth, waste as little as possible. If they do make adjustments later on, they keep these paper cutouts, and over time they adjust them.
Oh.
In case you have never been to the back end of one of these fancy tailor shops, this is exactly what they look like. These are workrooms. These people, it's not fancy. They're just here, but these people have put in the hours. I'm talking decades, thousands and thousands of hours to get where they're at. And so I'm really happy that they're showing behind the scenes here and just what goes into making. These are modern works of art that men wear.
You spelled my name wrong though. It's M-A-M-O-A. I was fucking.
So cruel. And he got her too. She really thought she made a mistake. So what you just saw there is the canvas, and this is the area in the chest. That's a floating canvas. I'm pretty sure for this video, they just filmed him doing a few stitches, but this is something, you know, a skilled tailor can spend hours, like 4 to 5 hours, working on one side of the chest canvas. And that's just a book of buttons. Yes, different types of buttons. Amazing. I mean, seriously, just look at the detail that these guys are going into with the build of all this stuff. Amazing. So obviously, this is the third fitting, and you'll find the really high-end tailors, they have multiple fittings. For them, it's about perfection. Talk about a tight deadline. Day of the premiere. I mean, seriously, look at all those small details. Notice on the cuff right there, he's just showing that bit of shirt with his arms down. This is just a great look. Again, for a man with a hard to fit body type, to get a fit like that, it not only, it just makes him look great. That's what I love about classic menswear. When it fits you well, when you get that fit, fabric, and function, the style pyramid, when you nail that, guys, you are gonna look like $1 million.
Here we are, the Dune. Let me do my hair real quick. Ready?
As you can tell, he's changed this up a bit. He decided to leave the shirt off and go for his signature look. And I have to admit, absolutely love it. Yes, not traditional, but again, he wanted to throw a bit of funky in with keeping it classic. Well, he wore everything but the shirt. Could the average guy pull this off? No. Jason, he's not the average guy. And if you're a bit of a rock star yourself, you could probably pull it off too. This is exactly how it is when I go home every night. Got my kids lined up outside, screaming, getting excited. So I know exactly how he feels. And I love this because so many people think that suits have to be boring. Guys, let this be an example of how you can have fun with a suit. Make it your own. Don't let the suit wear you. You wear the suit and adjust it to your unique style. All right, Jen, so what video to watch next? How about my unfiltered opinion on Alpha M? I react to his videos right here. Check it out. I'll link to it as well down in the description.